Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share this tutorial with you, and it's surprisingly pretty easy. Basically, this top is made up of granny squares, and I also want to point out that the same pattern can be used to make a daisy top just by changing the color of the flower. So without further ado, let's just dive in. You'll need some scissors, a crochet hook, I believe this is a 4.25mm. I like to use sugar and creams, denim blue yarn, as well as yellow and brown. The yellow and brown will be used to make a sunflower, but unfortunately you'll need to make a dozen of these bad boys. To begin a sunflower, take your brown yarn and form a magic circle, then chain 2. This counts as a double crochet. Place 11 more double crochets into the magic circle for a total of 12. Fun fact, did you know that this little brown part of a sunflower is actually hundreds of smaller flowers? It's made up of disc flowers that have 5 brown petals fused together into a tubular shape. This kind of detailed stitching might actually make a lot of sense compared to a real one. Make sure you have 12 double crochets around. When you reach the beginning chain 2, slip stitch to join, close up the gap by pulling at the tail end, and finish off. On the bottom, I like to tie the tail into a knot and trim it out of the way. With the yellow yarn, attach it to the brown center by tying a knot. I like to do this several stitches back from where I finished the brown yarn so I have room to work the yellow tail end into the next round. To begin this round, chain 2 to reach the height of a double crochet, and place 1 more double crochet next to it in the same gap. Chain 1. Working the tail end in as you go, work 2 double crochets into the next stitch and chain 1. Repeat this all the way around until you have 24 double crochets or 12 petals. Slip stitch at the end and finish off. The next round we'll be making the actual granny square with our blue yarn around the flower. Insert your hook in between any petal and attach the blue yarn by tying a knot. We're starting at what is one corner of the granny square. Chain 2 to reach the height of a double crochet. Then place 2 more double crochets next to the chain 2 in the same gap. Chain 1 and work 3 more double crochets into the same gap as the cluster we just did. Chain 1. Skip 3 double crochets of the previous yellow round and work 3 double crochets into the gap. Chain 1. Skip 3 double crochets of the previous yellow round again and work 3 double crochets into the gap. This is our second corner. Chain 1 and work 3 more double crochets into the same corner gap. Repeat this all the way around and slip stitch at the end. For the second round, because of where the yarn is positioned, we're going to chain 3. The first 2 count as a double crochet and the third is a chain 1. Similar to previous corners we've worked in the last round, work 3 double crochets into the next gap with a chain 1 and another 3 double crochets. This is your first corner of this round. Chain 1. In the next gap, place 3 double crochets and chain 1. Repeat these same principles all the way around and slip stitch at the end. For the third and final round, chain 2 for the height of a double crochet and place 2 double crochets into the gap the chain 2 is coming out of. Chain 1 and place 3 double crochets into the next gap, which will be the first corner. And from here, you know what to do. Repeat all the way around until you've reached the first chain 2 and slip stitch. Finish off the yarn and weave in the tail end to hide it. Whip up 11 more of these granny squares for a total of 12 and get ready to put them together. To start attaching them, take 2 and sandwich them, right side facing in. Take your blue yarn and attach to the top right corner through both squares by tying a knot. We're going to work 1 single crochet across each stitch through both granny squares just on the top row. At the end, finish off and weave in the tail end to hide it. When unfolding, you can see the ridge is on the wrong side, and the right facing side should look as though it just continues on. Basically, we don't want to see the bordered edge. Continue sandwiching together the squares to have 2 rows of 6 granny squares. We need to attach the 2 lanes together. Sandwich one over the other, wrong side facing out just like before, and match up the squares. We're going to be working 1 single crochet from corner to corner all the way across the 6 granny squares. Once you have both halves sewn together, you can see the back side has all the ridges, and the front side should be flush all the way across. Now we need to connect both of the sides together. Fold one side over the other to where the wrong side is facing out and the right side is inward. This should fold evenly with 3 granny squares on one side and 3 on the other. From here, single crochets across these 2 squares to close off the top, creating another ridge. Turn the top right side out and flatten it to show a 2x3. The last thing to do is create the straps. This may be dependent on your body type, but I found generally the most fitting place to start the straps are 1 gap outward from the middle granny square. To start a strap, pick one side and attach your blue yarn into the gap by tying a knot. Pull the yarn back through and create a chain of 30. Slip stitch to the back of the corresponding granny square and begin working back through the chain with 1 single crochet in each stitch. This will add a thicker and nicer looking strap to your tank. When you reach the beginning of the chain, slip stitch and finish off. I like to tie this end with the tail end from the beginning and then weave the 2 in and out through surrounding stitches to hide it. Repeat the same thing to create a second strap on the other side. And there you have it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a little bit long, but I think it's a pretty simple tutorial. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content. It lets me know that you guys want to see more. Let me know in the comment section if there's anything specific you want me to make, or if you have any questions about this top, I would be happy to help. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.